Good morning, Israel. Good morning, China. Good morning, Russia. I know that all of you, not just the governments or the militaries, etc., but the nice people from these countries, I know that you would send a comment or a letter to my address or call me or email me or the ways that people communicate professionally, civilized people, and you would offer me help. I know that. I I don't talk very well after being imprisoned in Washington D.C. by the United States government and the United States Armed Forces with their law enforcement. My motor skills got messed up. Yeah. But I want to say this. It's a big deal to me to say hello, good morning, and that I know you would offer help if you could. You are helping me in here. There are people I have witnessed over the years literally saved my life in this house over and over and over again. But according to the United States population, the lovely, nice people who walk around and leave baby buggies parked with dead body stenches in their yard. And they're lovely politicians that they elect in their fake joke of a government. These lovely people in the US with their armed forces who come in here and who are some of the people trying to end my life in this house. Their military comes in here and crawls through those holes in the walls. The US military comes in here. According to them, I will never get help. According to them, all the people here in DC and the United States, according to them, it never happened. This never happened. 5 years of my life was a figment of my imagination. I'm a schizo. What else do they tell me I am? Yeah, they tell me everything that I am, that they hate me. I'm horrible. I'm schizo. I'm old. All this stuff. I'm fat. I've heard it all. Everything that you could possibly say to someone in hate, HATE, hate speech, SPEECH, hate speech, they have typed over the years and told me how they felt about me. That's all I ever read. That's all that ever happened. When I tried to get an apartment and get out of here after they started killing hookers in here, no one would rent to me. I documented that, and their president, Donald Trump, who was in office while that was happening, deleted that entire account. So I believe that the good military has those documents from their lovely, precious, sacred Twitter. No professional government releases their statements on Twitter. When that started happening, their PMs and all these crackpot fake people in power, you knew that this was bad. Like, official notices are now being released on Twitter. You know how fucking offended I would be if I had, all this pedigree and... Dude, you work for that, man. Some people do. Some people seriously work for that. And they do come from good families and so on and so forth. And you can't hate them. Sit around and be angry at people who had things you just didn't have, okay? Why don't you get some, counseling? Work through that grief and sadness that you didn't have that. Because that's what I had to do. And then you can stop hating on people and you can respect and admire them for what they did. They're really good people. They love their kids. They have God in their heart. They did go to law school. They do have like multiple degrees. They're really smart. And you know what? Some of them have a higher IQ than I was even born with. So why would God do that? Because God's got people on the earth that he loves that do his will. And some of these people who are highly, highly intelligent with serious pedigrees behind them and 30 years or so of experience at their professions do his will that I could never do. I couldn't do it. I did the best I could with my life with what I was given. And some of what I was given was to work through the grief and sadness of what had been taken away. What was taken away from me as a child, just being born, things I didn't ever get a chance to have. It was taken away. There was a negative digit I was working with. But you can't, I used to sit around for a little bit in my younger years. I hated people like that. Didn't hate, this is the wrong word, but I don't have a lot of words left. I am very injured with my motor skills. It wasn't until I was in my 30s, honestly, that I stopped doing that. The rebellion, the punk rock anarchy was fed more by my anger and grief and sadness. It was a way for me to be arrogant in some ways with an attitude, a chip on my shoulder, and I drank, the drinking was a way to block out the pain. It all fed this. And I had to face what I had come from, what had happened, the negative digit that I was working with in life. And then I started to realize what I had overcome. And how great it was that I chose to be this punk rock anarchist. That was really, really, really amazing. That was God. It was God's will. Higher power. You can't deny it. I found my soul at 13 and 12 years old in anarchist British punk rock movement. That is who I am. I can't describe more. Yes, it takes describing, but I can't fucking speak in this terrace cell. It's been so terrifying I can hardly talk. That mentality is part of my essence. And you can't get mad at people who are not into this sort of rebellion movement. They wear yuppie clothes, okay? They have exceptionally high IQ. They know that other people around them aren't as intelligent as them. They went to some of the best colleges. Yeah, they did. Overseas, in the US, it doesn't matter. They have a law degree, plus they have some nuclear degree. They just have it. Why is that? Because they're so intelligent. You couldn't even try to do that. You're not as smart as them. You're not going to be what you're not. Some people have higher IQs than others, okay? All right, and so I'm going to sit around and hate them because they dress yuppie and they had this and that I didn't have, and I was working with negative digits. Yeah, I did when I was younger. I did sit around and hate them. I was really angry and really hurt. I could hardly take the pain of what I was facing in life. So I drank. I did go to college, but I had a serious attitude towards everybody around me. Because God said he created me. Russia, China, and Israel. Good morning. He told me this when I was 18, Jesus. And because of that, I've never met anyone who got married or had kids. And I met somebody while I was working with everybody for 7 years, but God has not allowed me to officially get married to that person. it's a really big deal when that happens for me because I was created. And yeah, so I find it funny, Russia, China, and Israel, that they want the United States with their armed services that crawls through holes in a terrorist cell to attack a woman who's an unarmed civilian. I find it funny because I am the first person to look you right in the face, and I'm very serious, but no one talks to me in real life. They refuse to talk to me. The only people who get to my face and look at me in the eye and have a conversation are fucking terrorists. Do you realize that? I know you all do out there in these countries, China, Russia, and Israel. You do realize, I know. The only people I talk to are fucking domestic terrorists. Do you know how I feel? It is one reason why my motor skills are gone. Yeah. But I'll look you straight in the face and I'll tell you, yes, the Egyptian pyramids, they levitate. I'll tell you in descriptive details, but we'll do this later when I have better motor skills. I'll flat out tell you, like, as serious as can be. I'll tell you how and all this, so you can call me crazy. Okay, that will feed this. That will give you reason to say you're schizo. Okay, and then that'll justify everything you're doing in 1509 S Street Northwest. But I would suggest you connect what I'm saying with that and how I'm walking through all your nasty chemical weapons that I've witnessed people fucking drop so many times. But I still am not allowed to talk about that. And what is this Jesus that guides me in this degree in detail? Well, it's Jesus. I told you, he's a life form. So, all right, you want to call me schizo? Come bring your departments, drag me around. I can't even discuss how terrifying these people are here. How fucking terrifying they are in the United States. And my cat, my lovely baby kitty, wakes me up. I get really upset. I'm like, Poppy, you're waking me up. Yeah, I really needed to sleep more. But you wake up in this sort of situation, in this kind of fucking terror, in this terrorist compound, and you're like, fuck this, I'm up. It's so fucking creepy in here. And I'm here every day, every night, all alone. And then what am I doing? I'm communing, praying with Jesus. And they'll hold it against me. And they'll come say, I'm this or I'm that. I know, desperately, always knocking on my door. Desperately knocking on my door. Yep. So Monday, I'm going to get an attorney. They're forcing me to. Now, they don't want that. They'll come bring all their people back to knock on my door and try to stop that. But because of Israel, China, and Russia, I'm safe enough to go do it on Monday. And what I presume, and I will tell the world this on social media, although I only get 1 view, 2 views, we know. I'll tell the world what the lawyer says. All right, I don't believe that anyone here is nice, okay? In DC, no. Nobody at that hospital they took me to was very nice. No. The head doctor, he seemed okay. I really can't read someone like that. The head doctor that worked with him, the woman, she seemed all right. She seemed a little interesting, maybe something about her. But the fact that they had me in there and held me against my will was so egregiously criminal. I wonder what the special forces and my groom to be, because I have a groom, I know what he looks like. I wonder what he would say about that shit, dude. And what he would say to them. And do those people at MedStar ever wonder that themselves? I give up, because as long as those people in MedStar Hospital and the White House and the Secret Service and the Washington, D.C. PD the Washington, D.C. Fire Department, and just go down the list, down the list, can keep me by myself in complete solitude every day, every night, then I don't think they really do stop to think about anything. No. So when I call on Monday, an attorney, you know if it's in the jurisdiction of DC, this person's swine. They're living it up, shopping, eating dinner, doing good, right? While there's a fucking woman desperate, trapped with corpses in their city, and they say they practice law. No, folks. No, you don't practice law. Or do you practice medicine? That physician at that hospital where they held me against my will and then released me because I was not mentally ill and they had no reason to keep me. Once they arrested me from a terrorist compound that cops crawl in cubby holes and get whatever happened to that cop up there, I don't know. I'm still not allowed to talk about it, but it was laying there dead with its walkie-talkie running. Was that cop coming to take me back to MedStar? Do you think I do? I think so. You came in the wrong way, dude. You crawled in a cubby hole and you didn't fucking survive it. I'm not supposed to talk about this. So what do? They come back the next day with these court papers, ringing the doorbell. Like, I can't describe what a fucking circus that chick did before I started filming her. I can't talk about it. I'm forbidden. And her chipped fingernail wasn't filed. It wasn't groomed. It was just chipped and jagged, like broken glass. She's running around town like that. There's no fingernail file in her purse because you wear these fake nails just in case one breaks. No, none of that. She's just running around town with broken, jagged fingernails on her hand, shoving papers in people's faces in terrorist cells. Running away when she realizes she's being filmed. Okay, I'm up to 17 minutes. On Monday when I get an attorney for this endless, never-ending fucking tear and whore and gore in the Capitol, that attorney's going to tell me this shit's fake. This is bogus. And don't forget that attorney is not my friend. That attorney is a swine bag who practices law in a city where they hold a woman unarmed against her will. They torture her physically with chemical weapons, and they torture her physically with some sort of biological agent. Brutal, gruesome torture happens to this woman. She can't get police to save her life, to search the place or help her, and not one freaking U.S. civilian offers her a penny or a job or any sort of help. Nobody helps this woman, but this freaking JD practices law, rings in a real good salary, and goes shopping at Nordstrom's. That's who I'm calling on Monday, okay? And their staff who answer the phone. So don't worry and forget about that. Good morning, Israel. Good morning, China. Good morning, Russia. I know you would help me if you could. We'll talk later. Goodbye.